We are live.
You're looking live.
That's right. The old Brent Musburger. Yeah. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the friendly confines of the TD Report. I'm your host, David Combs, here with TK, Tony Kennedy. Actually, you're over that way. My bad. How you doing, Tony?
How you doing, man? It was a great weekend, wasn't it?
This was a wild weekend. We're definitely going to talk about a wild weekend in the NFL. We're going to talk about things about some quarterbacking. We're going to talk about some interesting finishes in the NFL. But first, before we get started, I want to thank everybody that's joining us via, joining us via YouTube Live for the TD Report. Definitely hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and go on to Spotify for us and give us a follow. Really appreciate it. Add us on Spotify. That'll help us out a lot. We definitely appreciate you. TK, we got to talk about the Justin Fields situation in Chicago. We got to talk about the ups and the downs that he's had, but we really also need to talk about CJ Stroud because there's a lot of negativity from people that think they know football. Oh, it's an Ohio State quarterback thing. They don't do well in the NFL. Well, CJ Stroud seems to be looking pretty good. But first, let's talk about Justin Fields. Guys, Justin Fields has been much embattled since he's been drafted by Chicago. They traded up to get him. They've installed him as the starter. There's been some problems as far as continuity with the coaching staff. And some things have been done, Tony, that I don't think are in the right order. So let's make sure I have this right. First, they drafted Justin Fields.
Yep.
Then they hired the president of football operations. Then they hired a coach. Then they hired a GM. What's wrong with that picture, Tony?
That's backwards.
Nobody has any loyalty to Justin Fields.
None.
And nobody is vested in his development as a quarterback. Usually, and you know this, Tony, you've been there. When you come in, if you're a Jimmy Johnson, if you're a Bill Belichick, you put your money on that quarterback that you got. That's your guy. And you and him are joined at the hip. And Justin Fields doesn't have that kind of support. And it showed on the field.
Yeah, and let me put it to you in football terms. Okay, I think we're being a little unfair as in Justin Fields. You have to look at it this way. If you took Tom Brady or Tom Brady-ish or Drew Brees, Phillip Rivers, I use those guys as an example just because of where football is going. If you took those guys and made them read option guys, move guys, get the first down by your leg guys, they would look as bad as Justin Fields. Okay, so the opposite works too. Stop trying to take these quarterbacks and make them into something that they're not. Build that towards your game, but allow them. You may not have them for 15 years. You may only have them for 8 to 10 years.
But Tony,
damn it, get the best 8 to 10 years out of those guys.
Tony, you saw what happened on Sunday. So let's set the stage. He starts out that game against Denver, who's struggling. They are struggling. And he comes out like a house on fire. I think he started something around 23 for 25 with 4 touchdowns. Something like that. He looked really good. So basically, Denver went up 7-0, and then Denver gave up 28 straight unanswered points by Chicago. And then Tony, the wheels fell off.
The wheels fell off on it like a mug.
Denver picks up 14 quick points. Then Justin Fields fumbles and a scoop and score to tie the game. That's Justin Fields had an interception to end the game, and then he had the fumble that was turned into 7 points. And I don't know if he can play that well every week. 4 touchdowns, 1 interception, and a fumble recovery for a touchdown. If that's what Justin Fields' best and highest use is, I'm off the Justin Fields train. And I've been a fan. I think he's a very good quarterback. I thought he had the potential to be very good, but you've got to win that game. And hey, no disrespect. Shout out to Russell Wilson and Denver Broncos, who have been hearing it from the media the first 4 weeks of the season. They've been getting pounded.
Well, again, Dave, you have to put him in the best position for him to succeed. And some of these coaches out-coach themselves. I mean, you got coaches out here who just want to just try to make someone something that they're not. Chicago's already bad. Let's be honest. I mean, they did a hell of a job by getting was it DJ Moore?
DJ Moore had 120 yards, I think, receiving and a touchdown.
But he had 100 and something in that first half, right?
That's the problem. That's a problem.
Yeah,
you got to ride that horse, and why didn't he have 220?
Because, well, of course, teams adjust, but again, you have to let Justin Fields be Justin Fields. And if that means him going out there and running and getting that first down, first of all, when they was up by 7, he should have never been in a position to fumble a pass because they should have been running the ball. And running the ball, and kicking it down and making Denver, who's struggling, go the length of the field.
Run that clock.
What are we doing here? I mean, that ended up being the game winner. And I just don't understand when I tell you coaches out-coach themselves. And we should not – I mean, listen, you can dog Justin Fields all you want, and that's great. Everybody deserves the criticism. He's doing badly right now in this system. What I will tell you is that the Ravens are doing opposite with Lamar Jackson. You won't have Lamar Jackson for 15 years, but you're going to get 10 to 12 years of some of the best football ever. Why? Because you can't play like that unless you're big like Cam Newton, and even Cam Newton didn't last that long. It's going to be hard. I mean, you see
Steve
Buffalo,
McNair, Cam Newton, those types of guys.
You see Buffalo has adjusted from what we were saying last year of having their quarterback trying to last that long and take the beat and all that stuff. The game is too physical, man, to do that. But then again, like I said, you got to go and let him do it. What do you say?
8 for 131, 16-yard average. That's for DJ Moore. 1 touchdown. Thanks, Cody. That's great. So let's flip that script. We've got another Ohio State quarterback, another Ohio State guy that is first 4 games in the pros, CJ Stroud, looking pretty good. Now, I talked about the first 2 games, he was sacked 11 times. The last 2 games, which were victories, he was not sacked at all. He has not been intercepted as a pro. 4 games in as a pro, hasn't thrown a pick. You guys can see the graphic up here, most passing yards, the first 4 games in NFL history. He's number 2 all time in his first 4 games. That's pretty impressive, Tony.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive seeing that the first guy is the MVP, Heisman Trophy winner, national champion, all that other stuff. I mean, that's pretty impressive. What Cam Newton never got credit for was his arm, and how well he could actually throw the ball. Remember, I thought CJ Stroud was the best quarterback after I saw him versus Georgia in the Georgia game. Before that, I thought Bryce Young was the best. But when I saw him in the Georgia game, I saw him do everything a pro quarterback was supposed to do. If you go back and watch the Georgia semifinal game, CJ Stroud played one of the best games as a quarterback, as me looking for the next level. With all the intangibles, that guy looked really good that day. And had he had a whole season like that, he probably would have won the Michigan game, and he probably would have been the Heisman Trophy winner. He is, to me, by far, the best rookie quarterback this year. It's not going to be close. I thought he was the best. That's no knock to Bryce Young. I mean, come on now. But I just thought C.J. Stroud, because it's just that Georgia game, because that defense was so good, and he shredded them. I mean, shredded them to where they had to cheat to beat them.
Mm-hmm. Now, we talk about the game this weekend. Pittsburgh came into town, and honestly, I was expecting Pittsburgh to win that game. Mike Tomlin has not lost to a rookie quarterback since 2016. One thing about good coaches, they're tough on rookie quarterbacks. Their coordinators figure out a way to confuse those guys, make them second-guess themselves, make them see ghosts, and make them make mistakes. Against the Steelers, though, we got to give D'Amico Ryans credit here. First-year coach, did a great job with what he has, And CJ Stroud Tony, he looks very comfortable back there.
Yeah, I think he looks comfortable. And like, I'll be the first to tell you, they're doing way better than what I predicted them, because I predicted them to probably be 0-4 by now. And they are, your boy can coach.
Kenny Pickett got hurt in that Steelers game too, though.
Who?
He did, but not season. It doesn't look like it'll be a season ender, but he might be out a couple of weeks. Yeah, but that did look good. It looked like he might have twisted his knee.
Who got hurt?
Kenny Pickett.
Pickett?
Yep.
He was hurt.
Najee Harris led the team in receptions.
Hey, Pittsburgh is in trouble, folks. Pittsburgh is in trouble. Now,
they need to get George Pickens going every week.
You remember, in that division, I picked Cleveland, Ravens, Bengals, Steelers. So I'm kind of close, but the Ravens are on top. And I think that's just because Watson was hurt. And they lost Watson. They lost Chubb. But remember, Joe Burrow, I'm the biggest Joe Burrow fan. It's time for them to sit him down.
If
Joe
the
Burrow
Bengals...
That line, man. That line. I'll say two things about the Bengals. Their offensive line doesn't want to block for some reason. And then secondly, they don't use Joe Mixon as they should. This man averages almost 5 yards a carry, and they give him the ball 8 to 13 times a game. And they insist on making hurt leg Joe pass the ball. And all they need to do is run. And I mean, the Joe Mixon is capable. Joe Mixon is very capable to be a top 5 back in the league.
Very capable.
And they do not use him in any way which it doesn't make sense to me. And they keep losing.
Cody, because what I say about those coaches, they outcoach themselves. And they want to make Joe Burrow and satisfy. Man, it's about winning. However you win is how it's supposed to be. And if you got to win by running the ball, and that's how you win it, then go win. But they need to sit down. My favorite quarterback, Joe Burrow, needs to sit down until the beginning of November. He needs to sit until the trade deadline. Yeah,
he's not healthy. Something's not right. And something's not right with the kid. I watched him back there. And again, my favorite word, he didn't look comfortable back there behind that line. And the first couple of years, the second year he had where he was healthy with the knee, he looked comfortable and he was doing Joe Burrow type things.
When you have to run out of the pocket, though, Dave, when you have to run out of the pocket as much as he has this year so far through 4 weeks, you can't be comfortable. You're always looking for that blindside hit. You're always looking for the man to run up the middle. He's been running probably at least twice every possession, I feel like.
Sheesh.
It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Cody, is our guest ready?
No, we do not have him in the green room yet. I've texted him and tried to get him in.
Okay.
He's read the message, but he hasn't responded yet. So hopefully he'll jump in.
Okay, when we can get CJ.
We're going to try to get CJ on the show, guys. You're going to love him.
One of the biggest Cowboy fans. Let's move on to the Philly Redskin game.
Great game, guys. Great game. Loved it.
It was a game that the Redskins won. I called that they will win this year. Dave said that Philly would win. I just felt that styles make fights. And I've been watching this division longer than 95% of y'all, whoever tunes in. I know this division back when it was 5 teams. I know who's winning, who's losing, style, and fights. Styles make fights in this division all day long. I mean, it goes way back to when Dallas is on the road in St. Louis or in Philly or in the Giants.
Wow.
I mean, it's just
Bush Stadium.
Bush Stadium, and you couldn't see the game, and you tune in as a highlight in Dallas in them crazy dark jerseys that I always wear.
Bad luck.
Seeing O.J. Anderson going down the field. Dude,
we got CJ in here. CJ's ready.
Excellent.
Off of our divisional games. Because if you judge your team off our divisional games, I said this when Dallas beat the Giants, you don't judge them off the divisional games.
You can't
judge them off everyone else and people who don't see their styles. You don't, because divisional game, if that was the case, Washington was the only team to beat Philly really healthy until the Super Bowl. So that means Washington should have been in the playoffs. They weren't in the playoffs.
We're gonna talk about this after we get CJ on, because I don't want to hold him too much. But I will say this, Tony. After we talk with CJ and we get his picks for this week, because we're gonna talk Dallas Cowboys here on the TD Report.
Yeah, we are. I see him sitting here in the green room. We are definitely going to be talking some Cowboys.
Let's talk some Cowboys. So, Tony, why don't you introduce our host, buddy?
This is what I call the best cowboy on the East Coast. He is the man.
More than Alicia Roberts?
Richmond! From Richmond.
Hey, what's up, CJ?
Hey, wow. What's happening, fellas? What's happening?
You got the AT&T background back there.
Hey, man, I know how to work my studio.
Okay, buddy.
Yeah.
How you doing, man? Thanks for coming on the show.
All is well on this side. 3-1, just minding my business. I ain't bothering nobody.
CJ, let's talk about this, man. We appreciate you being on the show. Talk about what you think about Dallas last week. First week without Trevon Diggs. I thought the secondary did pretty well.
Man, I think we came out flat, overlooked the Cardinals. I think that one position, it was a factor, but when you got 52 others, one really shouldn't. The expectation wasn't met last week. You know how like in the NFL, one team's gonna have that up week, but they'll never have it again.
Yep.
Arizona had that up week last week. They're not going to have it again. And they showed it this week against the Cardinals. You know, it's like some teams will go 2-15. You just don't know which 2 weeks they're going to be up. They got us last week. They caught us early, which was a good thing. In my estimation, it was a good thing to get guys back focused, because everybody knows, the media, the whole wide world, they're talking about the Dallas Cowboys, whether it's good or bad. So, and even some of the people that didn't like the Cowboys, oh my God, 70-10. The defense is doing this. It's doomsday part 2. It's, they were doing a lot. There was a lot of talking going on. And we got a young team. A lot of people don't even understand that the Cowboys still have a young team. And it may have gotten to some of the guys' heads. And the injury to Diggs was major. Bland took a week to settle in, but I think he settled in nice, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
He had 2 picks and a pick six.
Yeah, he sure did. So we're just getting things back together. We don't want to be the team that's the talk of the town week 4 anyway. We're still getting Dak acclimated to the Mike McCarthy offense. A lot of people in that. Dak's 3-step drop, 3rd step, the ball's coming out. Dak's a gunslinger. He's Brett Favre Jr. in my eyes. He wants to go downfield, and we got the weapons to go downfield too. But see, that's where a lot of people gonna get caught slipping on the Cowboys, because the offense is still growing and maturing under Mike McCarthy. And right now, Dak 28 for 34, 250, whatever, and a touchdown, no picks this week. See, that's the part where the defense is doing their job, and we're not turning the ball over. Because we're a defensive team now, right? But we can be offensive if we need to be. And that's what's going to slip up on some people. It's going to be some weeks where we put the big numbers up because of the offense. So we got caught lacking last week. We got to deal with that.
Let's talk about this, CJ. If there's any weakness for Dallas in terms of on the offensive side of the football, and I'm going to come here to talk about it. It's what everyone is talking about, but let's do that. Red zone offense. You guys aren't able to punch it in. I think it was 1 touchdown in the last 8 trips in the ends to the red zone.
That's correct.
And that's a small sample size, but it's troubling. What do you say there?
I say, hold up, wait a minute, slow down. See, in order to talk football, you got to know what's going on. If I'm in the red zone, I ain't got my 3 big bulls up front. That's a key factor. You want to run the ball. You want to play action. You don't have anybody up front. Where's Tyron Smith? Where's our anchors at?
Zach Martin looked like he was in and out of that game.
We're injured up front. So it's a lot of factors going into what's going on in the red zone, but from 20s to 20, we just moving the ball up and down the field.
Sure.
So the run blocking is not where we need it to be. And sometimes on the pass, but the thing is with the Cowboys, we injured up front. We're 3 linemen down, basically.
So let's talk about that.
No need to overreact at this moment.
Those are kind of those guys up front that we're talking about here. Two of them are aging. They're getting up there in years. So when you talk about the replacements or the replacement plan, one thing that Jerry tends to do, Jerry Jones, the owner of the Dallas Cowboys, one thing you can talk about Jerry's teams is Jerry tends to take a guy a couple of years later or longer than maybe some other coaches like a Bill Belichick would, who would like to quote unquote cut you a year before he needs to. You see what I'm saying?
Correct.
So talk about that piece of the puzzle as far as what's behind the Zach Martins and the Tyron Smiths of the world.
Well, actually, you got a taste of it last week in the Arizona game. And those guys, Patton being one, they came in, they didn't actually play that bad. It was experience.
Yes.
That was the key. It was the experience. You're going up against this. It was a couple of them, one guy's first start. You know,
exactly.
You're going up against a veteran defensive lineman. So what was actually the expectation? I hope you do a good job. I'm just being honest. I hope you do good tonight. See, the thing is, once you know your team, you know where your weaknesses are, you should plan for it. I think we did a bad job all the way around, coaching, execution, scheming, etc. Just take that whole week and throw it away. So our linemen, we are long in the tooth in key spots. And we know it's going to be another area where we have to readdress. And you can go one or two routes. You can draft and coach them up, or you can quick rebuild like the Rams did.
Yeah, reboot. Just reboot.
Through free agency. So it's a lot of different avenues, but the way we are stacked with talented players, we're going to have to do it through the draft, the good old-fashioned way, because we got a lot of people we're going to have to pay, so it won't be an easy fix.
Tony, get in here, buddy.
What's up, man? What's up, CJ?
Hey, what's
How
up?
you doing, man? Thanks for coming on. CJ, man, take us and just kind of tell us, what do you think, how do you see this San Francisco game going on Sunday night? Take us to what do you feel based upon what you've seen on San Francisco and what you've seen from Dallas?
What I actually see is two evenly matched teams. I saw that the last two times they played as well, and they beat us both times in the playoffs. I see a lot of people already got excuses. Dak Prescott's going to do this. He's going to do that. But what I see on the field, they're not that much better than us in my eyes. I see two evenly matched teams with playmakers all over the field. And whatever you can say about San Fran, you can equally say about the Cowboys. If Christian McCaffrey goes off, they're going to win. But if Pollard goes off, we're going to win. If 19 for San Francisco, Debo goes off, they're going to win. But if CeeDee Lamb goes off, so they match up player for player, talent-wise. Go ahead.
Sorry about that. So the one thing I do see, CJ, one of the differences is Dallas's ability to turn turnovers into points. Yesterday, the Dallas defense was responsible for 15 points. That's if you're plus 15 on the defensive side of the ball, where your defense is actively scoring, it makes you that much harder to beat. You see what I mean? And I think if Dallas is able in a game against the 49ers team to get some additional points from their defense, not just short fields, I mean scoop and score, pick six, that really is a backbreaker for a team that kind of prides itself on holding the football and forcing their will upon you.
True. But see, that's icing on the cake. That's the flutter. That's the excess. That's what we want to happen. But smash mouth football, when we play the games, this game's going to be played like a playoff atmosphere. You know?
Oh, absolutely.
Right. So you may get some of those opportunities. You may not. But just the two teams themselves, the way they're going to approach this game, we're going to have to take it where their strength is, which is, their play calling. What they do all the time is they use our aggression against us. And the one thing I will give San Francisco a lot of credit for, they will keep running the ball. A lot of teams give up on the run early, but when you got a back like McCaffrey, you're going to have to play true. And one thing that will ultimately decide the game for both teams is who can win the line of scrimmage on first and second down. Because whichever team gets in third and long, it's going to be a long day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that line of scrimmage is going to be big. And and we've had some assignments. And I'm going to tell you what happened. Actually, we were doing really, really well in our defensive backfield until my boy came back, Cedric Wilson. Cedric Wilson was a couple of steps late on a few plays, and Malik Hooker was a couple of angles bad. for a couple of touchdowns. If you look inside the game, those young guys that came in that were getting those early reps, they were actually doing a pretty good job. We put our starters back in, moved Bland to the outside, and we had some getting used to the person next to you issues. That's what we had. So I think we're back on track now. Looking forward to a great game. It doesn't still negate the fact that they beat us twice in the playoffs, which is way more important than the regular season. But payback's up, and you know this, right?
This is a big game for Dallas, and I think what you say is true, CJ. That I think they're going to be up for this one. Even more up than they normally are. One thing about that New England game, let's go back to this real quick. The return of Ezekiel Elliott. What did you think about that? What was the walk up to that? What was the feeling? I know he wasn't happy for the loss. How did he play? What did you think?
Well, first of all, let's talk about Zeke. Even before the season, and he was a free agent, I didn't want Zeke to jump on the first team that signed him. You know what I'm saying? I wanted him to wait because there had been several injuries. Zeke could have been playing for a contender right now. There were several other teams that could have signed him. So he jumped on with the New England. We looked at the schedule. We saw New England was coming to town. It was bittersweet. It was great seeing him in the pregame. It was all the fanfare. It was lovely. But then when we saw him on the field, and everybody knows New England is a team headed nowhere right now. Belichick is not the coach of the year, the century. He's not who we thought he was. Tom Brady masked a lot of things in New England, and we all know that now. We didn't know it at first. We gave Bill all the credit. He doesn't have the personnel on either side of the ball right now either. He has his son as a defensive coordinator, and if he was anybody else, he'd be fired by now. But that's a whole different story. So the thing that I want to say is me seeing Zeke come back. Oh man, no holes, no lanes. But that's what you get when you run up against the Cowboys. There's not going to be a lot of running room, and if you get one, you need to go ahead and take it to the house because those guys fly around a lot. So it wasn't a pretty sight for Zeke. The best thing that happened to him, he probably got to sleep in his big mansion when he came if he didn't fly back with the team, but that's about it.
You know who I thought would have been a good fit for Zeke, which is where I thought he should have gone, and now there's a hole in the lineup. I thought he would look great in Baltimore as a free agent pickup.
You hit it right on it. That would have been scary.
Now that would have been where he needed to be.
Yes.
And J.K. Dobbins, right? He's out for the year. Is that an Achilles?
That's what I was referring to earlier.
That was an Achilles, right?
Injury is going to happen.
Was that week one? That was week one, though.
Yes.
So it happened a couple of weeks too late. If that had happened in camp, I don't think there's any doubt that Zeke would be in Baltimore instead of in New England. And I think that's a much better fit for him. In fact, I'll say this. I'll just come out and say something. I'll say something crazy. If you put Zeke on the Ravens from day one, they're going to win that division. And they're already what are they up, Tony? Are they up 2 games already?
They're up one.
They're up 1 game. They would win that division going away. Joe Burrow has started out slow. Okay. Pittsburgh not going anywhere anytime soon. So that just takes it down. That just takes it. That just makes it easy. That's them in Cleveland. And I still would put them over Cleveland because why? Their running back is out for the year. And then now we see some issues potentially with Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson was technically a healthy scratch this weekend.
Okay. I see it a little bit different than you. I still see all things being healthy and equal. I see a Cincinnati-Baltimore showdown with everybody healthy. But see, Joe Burrow is injured, so they're doing horrible this year. So Zeke would have been a welcome addition, and he would have been a part of them contending for that division. I'm not going to give it to him. And the reason I don't give anything to anybody anytime because I seen the referees take stuff from people all the time. So
well, let's talk about that. Let's switch to a game that I'm pretty sure that you watched with a little bit of interest. It was a divisional game talking about the Washington Commanders going up I-95 to play the Eagles up at the Link.
Correct.
A lot of talk here in Washington about that play call that called for the out of bounds on Terry McLaurin.
Right.
Looked like he was in bounds to me on the replay.
Okay.
That could have basically cost them that game.
You're right.
They get that call. I think that puts them in a better position to where they could have possibly won that game right then and there, as opposed to what ended up happening. They go to overtime.
Exactly.
They go to overtime, and then the decision here. Let me ask your take on this. What did you think about Coach Rivera's decision to go for the field goal, the point after touchdown, after getting the 6 to put them within 1 point, or he could have gone for 2? What would you do there on the road?
On the road, I'm going for it. I'm just
Thank
putting
you.
it out there. I'm going for it. However, let's get back to the other play, the catch. Was he in bounds or was he out of bounds? See, here's the deal that I really disliked about that. They called him out of bounds. And pretty much to overrule something like that, you need undisputable evidence, right? But had they called it a catch, there wasn't enough evidence to overturn it.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? So they actually made the decision by the way they made the call.
On the field, yeah.
Thank you. And that's what I was like, and I didn't have a horse in this race. I didn't care who won the game, but I tell Tony all the time, man, as long as you call it even, I don't really care how you call it. You know, if you call it holding on one side, let's get it on the other side. If it's pass interference on the one and so forth and so on. But the way they make the calls in the NFL, that's what's troubling. These refs are having too much input at the wrong time in game. And when I saw that, it was so close. I can't say definitively one way or the other. So the way you make the call determined the outcome. And it sucked because I couldn't see if he touched the white or not.
Well, CJ, you got a direct line to Jerry. He's on the competition committee.
No,
you can get that done right then and there, buddy.
A lot of people talk like that about the Cowboys and how much money Jerry has and this, that, and the other. Jerry ain't bought a Super Bowl in 30 years. So if that was true, we'd already have one.
I'm just saying he's on the competition committee. Y'all can get this.
A lot of owners are on the competition committee. So it doesn't work like that. You know, the refs in every sport, every major sport have been talked about for the longest time. And the one thing we need to do about the refs in these major sports is they need some more disciplinary actions done as well. You want to find the players, you want to find the owners, you want to find everybody for saying this and that and doing this and that. The referees and their whole crew. You decide a game, you botch a game. How many Mondays have you come on or Sunday nights have you come on and they said, oh, the NFL just put out a statement said the refs blew a call in a game?
All of them.
This crew don't need to work next week.
And guess what?
Period.
That same crew be out there for another game, and you know they're gonna mess up.
That's my point, man.
You know, Tony, getting you and CJ together on the show, I don't know why we didn't do this sooner, man. CJ, can you come back on the show a little more than this?
Oh, I told CJ.
Come back anytime, man.
I told CJ we want to have we're going to treat him like Michael Irvin, like ESPN, bring him in on Monday and tell us what happened.
I love it. I'm fine with that.
We want to know what happened. See what had happened is. That's what we
what happened
CJ
was. Well, you know what? I have one for you. And if you got a chance to look at the all 22s, Tony, you can chime in here too. What was going on? What had happened on that long pass against the Cardinals? What happened on that?
Missed assignment.
Broken coverage.
It looks like they flooded. It looks like they flooded aside and then broke it off. And broke it to the wide side of the field.
And CJ just said it. What CJ just said. They were first time everybody's playing a different position.
Without Trevon.
Or on broken coverages. And one thing I want to point out, CJ, that nobody really talks about. When Diggs got hurt in practice, I saw the look in those guys' eyes that they were a little shell-shocked. And when you get hurt in practice, it's different than getting hurt in the game. Because remember, in practice, you're still preparing and you're still going over the fine points. And I think Dallas came into that game and they were just shocked. Realistically, Dallas has only had one bad half of football in 4 games. And that bad half has cost us a game. But sometimes you need that because now that may have the coaches have you more focused because they can say, remember the Cardinals game. Remember the Cardinals week. And I think now that I see what I see on that defensive side, those guys are strong on that defensive side, man.
They look good.
They look, everybody talk about, well, it's the competition. Well, nobody else beat New England like that. And ain't nobody else going to beat them like that this year. But they always taking credit away from Dallas. Well, this and that. So here's what I tell people so we can understand. So we want to talk about facts. Before last year, Dak was number 2 all-time in TD to interception ratio in the history of this game.
Right. He
had one bad year and went down to number 9.
Right.
And look, right now, he's sitting at 7 or 8 all time. That's 103 years. So he's played 8 seasons, but 7 seasons if you want to take away 1. Right. He's only thrown 67 interceptions. Do your math, folks. I know we can count. He hasn't thrown 10 a year yet. Okay? So for all these people with these narratives about him throwing interceptions, you don't know what you're talking about, and you sound stupid, and you are a hater. And that's all that. See, if you want to talk football with me, and you really want to talk football, I had to tell a dude today, but then I said, let's put up money. Let's bet $500.
Not the money.
You find a dude for 7 seasons or 8 seasons and show me with him having less interceptions, one of your superstar quarterbacks. Oh, I know he Googled because it took 10 minutes and he still didn't get back. I said, so is the bet still on? Because I'm still waiting. Because these haters and all these haters in the D.C. area that think they know football, you don't know football. You never even played.
Tony.
And then you won't talk trash. No, Tony. I'm sick of it.
Tony, you're a pilgrim. Tony, you're a pilgrim in a foreign land, sir. You're not gonna get no love in Redskinistan.
No,
they ain't gonna give you no love like that.
It ain't about no love. It's about respect. If you say you know the game, don't say you got clowns out here talking about Parsons. You all want to talk about TJ Watt. I tell you what, if you lined everybody up right there on the defensive side,
and the
GM had to pick a team to start off, they're going to start off with Parsons before they start off with any of them defensive players. Why? Because he's so multiple.
What happened to the guy that was here earlier?
Oh, that's
Cody. That's our show guy. He runs the
show. Redskin fan.
Oh, he left.
He's a Redskin fan. Yeah.
Oh, I would left too.
Paul Adams says that Brett Favre is captain interception. He was.
But that's past tense,
He got so much love for just throwing the football in the air sometimes. And
actually, when we talk about people getting love and we talk about people getting hate, Brett Favre didn't get a lot of love. He got a love from a small group. See, when you play for America's team, the Dallas Cowboys, you expand it now. Everybody's talking about
you. Get both.
Yeah. So when you talk about Green Carson, we talking about this much. It's like a lot of people talking about that much. When you talk about the Dallas Cowboys, it's as big as the screen, as big as everything you see here. So everybody wants to talk about it. See, the way I look at it, when people talk Cowboys football with me, I can tell within 3-4 minutes what we're going to talk. I have a conversation, or you're just going to be talking by yourself. If you come with some facts, you come with some sense, we can talk. But if you just want to throw the same old memes, you ain't won nothing since 95, you got to tell me something new, because we've done a lot since 95. Actually, when people say the Cowboys have been a failure, you've been 12-5 back-to-back. It's a lot of teams out here in the NFL that wish they could be 12-5 back-to-back. Commanders won, Giants 2. This is in our division. We ain't even got to go outside the division. The Bears, the Bears would love 12-5 back-to-back. Come on now. So it's a lot of people hating with a lot of teams. It's people out here wearing jerseys. I don't know who the name on them, and they talking football with me. That dude don't even play, and even when he played, he was a bum. But you don't want to talk about that. You know what I'm saying? Dak owned him. So what were we talking about? And then every Cowboy fan, every hater Cowboy fan, everything is Dak's problem. Dak was 2 years old last time we went to the Super Bowl. How is his problem? So y'all say stuff and it sounds funny, but that's when the real football talk people know. Well, we know we shouldn't talk to this person about a good conversation because we know what meme you're gonna put up and we know what you're gonna say. And it's hilarious. I love talking sports. But when I'm talking to somebody that don't know how to talk sports, that's the conversation they can have to themselves because they don't need to talk to them. I'd rather talk to the women because some of the men don't know sports.
Let's talk about this then. Tony brought up Micah Parsons, and I agree with you on this. Looked like he came up a little limp there at the end of the game there. How's the foot/ankle? He gonna be all right, isn't he?
He's definitely gonna be all right because Lions get injured because they battle. They battle tested and they come back stronger. Name a Lion that hadn't had a run in with another wild animal 3-4 times their size, because that's where they had him at when he got injured. He was right up there in between the center and the guard. He was shooting the A gap, and he got stepped on from behind, and his knee hit the turf. He got up, limped off, went to the sideline, shook it off, came right back, had to go right back, went into the tent. You know what I'm saying? They looked at him. Hey, what's going on? And you know the line said, "I'm going back out there."
Well, he got to take care of himself. Okay,
they all got to take care of themselves. But you can get hurt walking to the bathroom tonight.
Well, hey, I hope that don't happen.
But my point is, you know what I'm saying?
I got you. But I'm getting old myself, man. I can't be walking to the bathroom and getting hurt on the way over there.
I understand, but that Achilles is fragile, and you ain't the young spring bunny that you used to be.
You know I'm going to ask you this.
Ask it.
Whatever happens on Sunday, you know you're going to have to come back here on Monday, right?
Hey, that's nothing.
That's cool.
I'm
so
live.
Tony,
I'm live every night.
I know you do.
After the game,
I got your email. I got your text messages.
I'm never hard to find.
I love it. So Tony, we're going to have CJ on Monday. Either it's going to be a victory Monday, or CJ's going to be telling us what had happened and we're going to listen. But I'm going to tell you, CJ, we bring you back on the show. We in Redskin land.
Let me just say this. I don't care what land we in, because we own that little dumpster 10 thing regular. I'm going to tell you something. I hope all the Redskin fans listen right now. I don't even go to the bathroom up there. I just pull it out. Because it's all the same. It's just junk. That's a trash can. So anywhere you pull it out at is a good place to use the bathroom. And if you got burgundy, and gold on, that's even a better spot. That's football.
You talking a little wild now, CJ. I don't know about that.
Well, put your burgundy and gold on and find out.
I don't wear burgundy and gold. I ain't no Redskin fan. I don't think I want to be now. That's downright antisocial.
It really was. But we're just talking smack, man. But if everybody knows me, they know it's one team that I can't stand. But I would like to look at the Redskin Nation, because I don't know where y'all in DC somewhere. I just like to tell this to the Redskins fan base. You almost had them. You almost had them. You almost had them.
Listen.
I was right there. Look, Tony, I ain't took my glasses off, T. They gonna blow it. They gonna blow it. And guess what happened, Tony?
See, you gonna make Cody come on the show. Cody, man.
Guess what happened, Tony?
Cody, you need to come on here, man, and talk to this guy. Because
knew they was gonna blow it. Deep down inside of me, even though I don't like them, I had this much. I was like, maybe they can beat the Eagles. So, because I don't like them either. But I was like, this much of me, because the Eagles are undefeated. So, this much of me said, they're gonna blow it. They gonna blow it.
CJ, you wild as hell, man.
Well, boy, man.
And I be got.
CJ,
listen,
wild boy.
I listen to local. I don't usually listen to local sports radio because we have our own show. We do our thing. So I don't want anyone to say, "Oh, you're just following what somebody said on ESPN 980 this morning." So that's why I don't listen. But I did see some of the websites, some of the fan websites. Half of them said that they should have gone for 2. Then the other half said they should have kicked the field goal and tried to win in overtime. And what I explained to a couple of my friends was, I said, it doesn't matter. I said, Ron Rivera is in a position now where he has to win if he wants to keep his job. New ownership is here. They're going to want to put their imprint on the franchise.
Man, don't fire Riverboat Ron. Please don't fire him. He's been good to me. He's been good to me.
He's been good to y'all.
Tyler Heineke was good to me. Kirk Cousins, was it Kirk?
It was one of them.
What's the other boy? He was good to me too. The one they got from Philly.
Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz was my best friend. Because he was gonna blow it. Oh my God.
Listen, when we look at what the division looks like now,
put Darius' comment on the screen. Put Darius on the screen. I predicted y'all to go last, Darius, the last 2 years, and I won money off that. How about that, player? Get your fan duel right before you holler at me, player.
Well, I look at the division as a two-team race at this point.
Well, everybody know that, except for the Redskin fans and the Giants fans.
Well, Washington thinks they have a quarterback now. They think
Where
they
yet?
like this guy,
Where yet?
Howell. I think he throws some good.
They signed somebody today? Did they sign somebody today? What they do? They wouldn't sign somebody today?
Sam Howell.
Oh, y'all out there howling. Ow, ow. What? Man, y'all should have kept Tyler Heineke. He was better than Howell.
Taylor Heineke was terrible.
No, see what the difference is. See, this is what y'all did. Let's talk football right now. See,
let's do that.
Howell want to fit the system. Riverboat Ron system. What that got you? 500 right now. That's what that got you.
That's
Heineke want to go out on the edge, make something happen, twerk something, work something. He put a little bit of fear on the edge of the defense. This boy, okay, never mind. That's their quarterback. It ain't mine. Don't worry about it. Do what you got to do.
Okay. I thought Taylor Heineke, they needed an upgrade from him. I think what they should have done was gone with Howell last year and got the growing pains out of the way and then try to make a shot, make a push for the playoffs this year. This year, they're basically teaching Sam Howell how to be a quarterback in this league. And when you're teaching on the job, these things are going to happen. You're going to have games like happened last week, against Buffalo, where you get beat down. Or you're going to have a game this week where you have the game and you think you can win it. And then your coach doesn't give the rookie, basically he's a rookie, but they don't give the young quarterback a chance to win a game.
Well, this is how I feel, okay? All of these teams are pretty much the same, NFL wide. I ain't speaking for one team. What they do is they get all this new talent in, and then they want to mold it to these old systems. You see, the younger coaches are understanding these new guys now and what works and what don't work and what they like and what they pick up on quicker. So you got these riverboat Rons and these recycled older coaches in the NFL. You either fit the system or they sit you on the bench or whatever the case may be, and they go back and get a retread veteran. That's what they do. So with this young guy, Howell, I think he has potential too. I think he'll never flourish under River Ron's system. That's just me. Because the play calling at the end of the day in crucial situations is when it matters. And we got some of those problems too. Because Mike McCarthy's called some bad plays here in these first 4 games, but the defense is covered up for it. So I'm just telling you what I see as a football fan. And it's not
you've hit on it. You've watched Eric Bieniemy now as the offensive coordinator in Kansas City. You've watched that from afar. Now he's in the division as the offensive coordinator in Washington. He's calling these plays. Assess where Eric Bieniemy sits in that. I think he's doing a pretty good job.
Eric Bieniemy is going to be the scapegoat regardless. He's calling some decent plays, but without the personnel, that stuff don't work. It don't even work. It's okay. You still into McLaurin and what you got? The other receivers. Washington got some talent out there. The tight end is good too.
Yes, they have talent.
So they got the talent, but my point is the route concepts. If you look inside the game, and like when it's 1st and 10 and it's 0-0, everybody's calling good plays. When it's 3rd and 12 and you down by 10, where the concepts at? That's when the rubber meets the road. And that's part of the problem that we got in Dallas. When we in the red zone, which is our trouble spot right now, we can't get a route concept or a timely play. See, that's why when you lose an offensive coordinator or a defensive coordinator, see, some guys just got it. They know what play to call, when to call it. And you know what I'm saying? It's just like in Philly. Philly ain't the same Philly they were last year. They lost both coordinators, and they having growing pains too. They're winning, but it ain't like it was last year.
I thought Washington's offense pushed their defense to the brink.
You're talking about one game.
But I'm just saying, they really pushed the Eagles in a way that I didn't think that their offense would be able to.
Well, the Eagles have been horrible in the secondary forever. They had one good year where they had both all-pro corners. They were good. But Dallas been torching their secondary. It was that daggone front 7 that was giving us problems. Secondary garbage.
To the ball. Yeah,
but my point is the secondary has been garbage. Cooper fried them people up like chicken on a cookout day. So we're not worried about that. They still slacking in the back half. but they're not as dominant this year. When you lose all those players, you lose both coordinators, it brings you back closer to the group. And we're early in the season, so it's going to be interesting. You done took yourself out of the picture.
No, what happens sometimes, CJ, everybody get these bad things that come through. Hey, man, look, so Dallas has San Francisco next.
Yes.
After the San Francisco game, they are on the road to the Chargers.
Right.
Give me the next game after that game.
Bye week.
It's a bye week, and then what's the next two?
I want to say, I know that the Rams are in there somewhere, but I don't know if that's the next game. Hold on, I'll give it to you. Hold on.
Because what I want to do is kind of see the next 4 games that almost takes us up to the trade deadline.
All right, here's the schedule. We got San Fran, and then we got the Chargers on Monday night. Then we got a bye, and then we got the Rams at home and at Philly.
Those are some 4 good games there.
Oh, four meat of the schedule games. They're gonna be really, really tough games. Got to bring the A game every week. You know,
yeah, those are big games.
Yeah. But everybody's schedule. And see, the thing is, there ain't no more easy schedules. Everybody's balling right now. You know, so you got to come in every week with your A game, or you taking an L. We found that out last week.
Any given Sunday.
See, that's the one thing about me. When my team wins, I'm gonna give them credit. When we lose, I'm gonna point the finger at what happened, why it happened. We don't make excuses. You know what I'm saying? We just tell it like it is. When I talk sports, I don't want to hear the mumbo jumbo or the fat. No, we lost. If you lost, why we lost? We're gonna tell you why we lost.
Mm-hmm.
But when we win, when we kick butt, we're gonna tell you why we kick butt.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So San Francisco right now, they on the clock. We're gonna see if Purdy what we thought he was.
Well,
that's
Brock
what we
Purdy's been doing pretty well for himself for Mr. Irrelevant. So we'll see if we'll see if what Dan Quinn can do with him. We'll see what they come up with.
Boy.
Huh?
Just like every clock, boy, the time gonna run out. You know, he having a ball right now. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. But when that thing strike 12 on him, boy, he gonna be just like Jimmy G. They're gonna be ready to ship him.
Yes, sir.
Wow. Look at that day. Hey, folks, yeah, we're here. We're joined by my man CJ from CJ TV. He's
having fun, man.
He is from the heartland. Dave went to UVA. I went to Virginia Tech. CJ lives down there in Richmond.
Right here.
Richmond,
Virginia. Nice.
Richmond, Virginia.
Richmond,
VA.
Hey, so he's one of the biggest Cowboy fans out here. We want to try to start getting him here. Like Michael Irvin does with ESPN. We want CJ to come on here and keep it real.
CJ's definitely invited back as an esteemed guest.
Yeah,
I'm looking for Paul. Man. Where's the other guy? I thought he was coming back.
CJ, he left because he didn't want to hear that about that Washington thing.
Cody is
when you're 2-2, take a nap.
Cody is
when you're 2-2, take a nap. Matter of fact, let me take my shirt off.
You know what?
Yeah. When you're 2-2, take a nap.
Paul Adams says the Cowboys might go out and get Jonathan Taylor.
Change my hat.
Jonathan Taylor.
Lord. Come on.
See,
just the good old boys.
You know what?
Boys. Never meaning no harm. Never meaning
It's getting wild here on the TD Report, everybody.
Be all you never saw, been in trouble with the law since the day they was born.
That's great, man.
Making their way.
Oh my God.
Way they know how.
Cody, get on here.
That's just a little bit more than the law will allow.
Come get them.
Them Cowboys.
Come get
Cowboys.
Come get them.
Oh, my God.
Lord have mercy.
I told you, boy. It feels good when you wake up on Monday and your team has won.
Lord,
last week,
you know what?
We had to take it and hear it. And for the greatest coach of this generation, you can talk. He got his worst butt kicking ever.
Well, and I will give this edition of the Dallas Cowboys credit. You guys put the worst loss ever on Bill Belichick.
Ever.
And you sent Tom Brady permanently to retirement.
And we put the worst playoff loss on Tom Brady. So
That
don't
was
be
bad.
hearing those.
Y'all whooped their butt. Y'all beat Tampa Bay like they stole something.
Stole it.
That was ugly.
Hold up. I got something for y'all. Hold on, man. I got to find it. Just keep talking. I'll find it and send it to you.
He's showing Washington Commanders.
Cody got the Commanders on there. What's up, Terry McLaurin? What's up? Terry in the building.
It's all good.
So
all good. Block me. Do what you got to do.
We definitely are going to have you back on the show.
Hey, can you play this for me? Can you play this for me real quick?
Go ahead, CJ.
I just sent you something. Play that for me real quick.
Hey, Cody.
Just push the button.
Play what CJ sent you.
All you got to do is push the button.
It ain't no 2 Live Crew, is it?
No.
Okay.
It's fan friendly.
Okay, it ain't nothing dirty because we got.
No, we don't do that. I do family
show.
show.
We got to the FCC, you know.
Hey,
oh no, he do family show. And folks, if you don't know CJ, he comes on every morning giving positive words and encouragement
CJ TV.
For CJ TV, baby.
I'm just waiting on Paul to press this button.
Oh no, Paul ain't with us. Cody with us.
Cody.
Hit the button. Cody,
what he got?
Push play.
If you text it.
Oh my God. This is what Tony brushes his teeth to.
Turn up the light. Everything good, Cowboys. 3-1.
Did you make this?
I just edited it a little bit. Yeah, I didn't make it.
Nice.
This is something y'all. You can take it off now. This is something y'all can add to the program as well. You have the ability to edit clips and play them on the screen as well. So you can film stuff, upload it, and it'll play you in your program.
Yeah, Cody will do that for us.
That's all right.
Thank you, Cody.
I like that.
Thanks,
CJ.
Cody.
CJ, that's right, dude.
That's kind of nice, man. I'll tell you what. We're going to have you back on the show on Monday, okay? If you want to come on Thursday, feel free to come on. We'll put the link out there for you.
Hey, we're going to be live from the stadium on Thursday. And I don't want CJ messing with their juju. You know, we got a little Redskin girl coming.
Sorry about that.
We're going to keep CJ on Mondays because we don't want nobody to give us a report on the Cowboys till we get it from CJ.
And I
want you on Monday, CJ.
Yeah, I got you on Mondays.
We want you on Monday. Same time, same place. And tell them you ain't hard to find, are you?
That's what Cody just said. He said, I'll be on next time. Don't worry. Cody said he'll be here for you on Monday.
Cool. Don't come off no L. Who they got this week?
They got the Bears.
They got the Bears this week. They win.
They're going to win this week because they play.
Yeah, they probably beat the Bears. Yeah, you
right. They lose to the Bears
beat them last year, but if they
lose to the Bears, Ron Rivera won't make it to the.
Let me look at the Commander's schedule since everybody want to know who's playing who. Let me see.
Yeah, let them read that all day. Then we.
It's easy. They got an easy schedule. They got winnable games.
Ain't nothing winnable.
Yeah, ain't nothing winnable.
Bears is winnable.
Okay, they got the Bears, Falcons,
winnable.
Giants,
winnable.
Eagles, Patriots, Seahawks, Giants, Cowboys, Dolphins, Rams, Jets, 49ers, and Cowboys. So their schedule is backloaded heavy.
It is. It is.
They got a backloaded heavy schedule.
So they need to be out the gate.
They need to get out the gate like a bunny. They need to get out
there about like 5-3, 6-2 real quick. Just going out there.
Because if they don't, they're not going to come home. They're not going to come home 7-2. No, they're not going to win 7 of the last 9.
Not with this schedule.
Not with that schedule. No, sir. Yep.
Not with Miami, San Fran, Dallas twice, and all those on the back. No, sir.
And I guarantee you they'll lose to either the Eagles or the Giants at least one time.
Oh, definitely.
On the back end. They won't sweep. I don't think they can sweep the Giants.
Sweep.
I don't think they can
always play them tough. The Giants always play them tough.
They go their schedule right there.
I see it.
They
Yeah,
got
the
the
last
Giants
game
on
doesn't
November
matter.
the 19th and on October 22nd.
And they
I
at
don't
the
think
Jets. That's
The
a
only,
tough game.
at
the
the
only
Jets is a
game,
tough
the
game.
only game I got them winning is week 14.
Oh shit.
Rams.
No, it says bye week.
Stop. Hey guys, we're gonna call this an edition. This edition of the TD Report, we're gonna call this a show. CJ Richardson, we want to thank you for coming on. We appreciate you, brother. You got to get off the show now.
Hit him with the flim flam.
You got to get off the show.
He hit him with the flim flam. Hey, folks, that's the reason why we want, our man over there.
Cody put him back
our
on. It's
man
all good.
keeps it real in the Ville, and we know what it's about. And CJ, so TD Report got a house in Vegas.
Yeah, we'll be in Vegas, so I want you to come check us
make
out.
that Super Bowl.
To say goodbye to the 2-2 skin. But I gotta go.
Tony, I got to jump, man. I got to bounce.
The memories.
Please join us. Please join us on Thursday, everybody, on the TD Report.
It makes me.
I'm going to be signing off for myself. Tony, you can stay on for overtime.
I stay with CJ. Hey, CJ, thank you, man. I appreciate
y'all, man, for having me on, man. I just love talking sports. I don't mean to disrupt nobody, whatever you got going on. If you have faith in your team.
If you got faith in your team.
Keep it. I
love it.
Nothing to do with you.
TK, I got to bounce, buddy.
Your team.
I see you, Dave.
Yes.
Hey, CJ, appreciate you, man.
Yes.
Hey, tell the folks
Talk to you later,
about
buddy.
your comedy thing that's coming up. Please
Hey,
advertise
man,
what you're doing.
If you're in the Richmond, Virginia area, right, I got some good stuff going on, man. I have got the biggest amateur night competition going on in the Central Virginia area. And it ain't just for amateurs. If you still work a job and you can use $2,500, I'm giving that away in hardcore cash. I'm doing my own rendition of the Apollo amateur night, man, where the crowd lets you know whether you're going to be the winner or the Sandman is coming to get you, man. For more information, CJ Richardson on Facebook, the CJ Richardson on Instagram, and all that other stuff is jumbled in there somewhere. But the only thing you really need to know about me is I'm a Cowboy fan. Run till it.
See y'all, bro.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you, CJ.
All right, man. Y'all be good. Thanks
All
for
right,
having me
brother.
on.